Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the CTV update for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Tyler is not with us this morning. He's in Montreal buying stuff for our pro shop, and so we're anxious to see what he comes back with, all the new stuff. And I have a special treat today that we'll talk about in a few seconds, but before I do that, I got to talk about Thanksgiving dinner. As you know, I bought not one, I bought two Thanksgiving dinners. I had 23 people at the house. I just got out of the hospital because I had had this surgical procedure, so I was in no shape to do a lot of cooking. I got to tell you, folks, if you didn't have this dinner, you really missed out. It was so professional, so good, so easy. The food was spectacular. I asked the chef to make me some hummus. Can you imagine a Lebanese guy asking another person to make him hummus because he makes it better than me? Like, I can't believe that. Went over really well. Everything was so good. This is a great side hustle for us. I hope we continue to do this catering on big events because, boy, I'll tell you, I can't wait. If we do it for Christmas, I'm in. I'm in. Well, I just got to come back to that Thanksgiving dinner again. I got to tell Chef, I had it all the food laid out. And I just said a little speech, Thanksgiving speech to the family, 23 people. We did our grace and everything, and the food was all laid out. And I said, I'm going to go get my camera and take a picture for the chef to see this. Well, I went to get my camera, and by the time I got back, the buffet had started, and I'm going to tell you something. I couldn't get near it. It was like the buffet at Men's League. You just couldn't get in. The food was just gone before I got a picture.
Elbows up?
Elbows up. It was elbows up getting that food. I'm sorry, Chef. I couldn't show you what it looked like, but it was beautiful. Anyway, fantastic dinner. So if you did, those of us who did order, I know we really enjoyed it.
I was so glad you did, and thanks so much for your support, John. That was a great initiative by Leanne and Nicole, and yeah, some great reports from that dinner. Sampled a few of the items. They were delicious, and sorry I didn't get to try your famous rice.
Oh, I had to make the rice. We scrapped the potatoes because in my family we make this traditional Lebanese rice for Thanksgiving.
You froze them though. You saved the potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We said we're having them. We're just not going to have them now. Anyway, okay. Another bad week for the Buffalo Bills, huh?
They've got to buy, thank goodness. Perfect timing.
They got to buy this week?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to sit Dalvin Cook. Okay, I got to find another running back for my fantasy team. Yeah, I didn't do too well, but middle of the pack. But that son of a gun. He's not here, but Tyler finishes third again. Actually, he finished second, but he lost the tiebreaker. He finished third. The guy that didn't know anything about football has now finished in the money twice.
He's just climbing.
Cam, you weren't too far back. I think you were about eight or 9 points back, so you weren't too bad. And the odd thing about the football pool this week was the person that, it's the second woman to win it, I think. She normally finishes last. A lot of weeks she won it this week, so that's good. So we got the two women winning the pool. Mm-hmm. It was a topsy-turvy week. All the favorites lost. All the big favorites lost. All the up-and-coming teams are winning. It shows how much parity there is in the NFL. The only team that stinks is my team, the Miami Dolphins, and so that's unfortunate. But we'll get first pick next year. Yeah, so it was a good week for football. Mm-hmm. Also want to talk about, I earlier this morning, and at this time, about a week before the annual members meeting, I normally talk with our club president. I did this year, Michel, Gosselin, and we had a nice interview. That's why we're not going to talk too much today, but well, let's listen to the interview now. Morning, everybody. I'm here with Michel Gosselin, our president. We usually do this twice a year with our president. at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. I call it our State of the Club address. And although you've got your materials for the annual members meeting, this is just kind of a highlighting of what we're going to be talking about at that meeting, and also about what happened this year and where we're going next year. So Michel, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much, John.
You've had a good year golfing. NGL.
Yes.
You did very, very well. And
Thank you.
hey, listen, it's been a good year for you on the course. It's been a good year for you at the club. You've done a wonderful job, and
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for all the hard work. People, you don't know what these guys go through. They don't need to do this. This is an extra job for them, and they take the burdens of the club at home and the worries of the club, they take that with them. We just get to go home and sleep. These guys sometimes don't get much when things aren't going right. But a lot of things did go right this year. So Michel, why don't you take it away? Tell us what happened this year. Give us a kind of a rundown of all the accomplishments.
Well, I got to tell you, you're right. It's a lot of work at times. It's, however, rewarding work when you end up having to report to the membership that we had a great year. And the growth has been throughout the club. We've had, to start off, we've had a new group of members joining us this year that is fantastic people that are came on board after Cedar Hill Golf and Country Club members decided to see if we could welcome them, and we did. And now we're happy to report that we're very close to our 5-year goal of having the goal members of 280 members. So so this is certainly a great success because it's driving a lot of revenues to the club, not only through the membership, but also through our food and beverage. So we've had a fantastic year in food and beverage, which exceeded our expectations by about $100,000.
Wow.
But that also includes the fact that we were very aggressive in our marketing for weddings. And now this year we've had 7 weddings, and they bring money to the bottom line.
Yeah.
So that has created that. But before we even got there, we had to turn around early in the year to hire some important people in the food and beverage area. So we welcome Leanne Hodge and Nicole, the chef Nicole, who's have joined and have quickly become great additions to our group. And I cannot go one day without hearing a member mentioning the quality of the service, the quality of the food. And I think we're certainly happy that we were able to start the year that way. Now, that, as I said, generated additional revenue that is going to be continuing, hopefully, in the years to come. But I would be remiss to forget the fact that part of the year's success has been the quality of our golf course. Mm-hmm. Joel, our superintendent, has done a fantastic job. Given the conditions that we had in terms of a lot of rain in May and then drought throughout the summer, our course has remained in a pristine condition. The other thing that's been affecting the course condition has been the number of rounds. This year, we again exceeded the number of rounds played at Carleton by a great number. So we'll talk about that at the annual meeting, and it does translate in wear and tear on the course, but and I appreciate membership support in fixing the divots and repairing their ball marks on the greens and raking their marks in the sand dunes. And I certainly think that the group that Joel has to support him in maintenance has been very, very helpful this year. Also, success was in our golf professional area with Tyler and his team. They've done great programming throughout the year. They've been very supportive when it came to competition. We've done a number of things around the hybrid tees, which is helping play, which is helping people at all levels enjoy golf. But in addition, we've had an excellent year financially. We've overall been able to take our mortgage down. It'll be at $1 million in December when we finish the year. So we've been very aggressive as well at putting together a plan for reserves and our capital reserves. So combination of both is putting us in a very good position. Our audit came back clean, and we will share that information at the meeting as well. So all in all, I think we've enjoyed a very successful year, and hopefully that can translate in more success in years to come.
Yeah, and it has been. I mean, you just outlined so many different things there that, I mean, we couldn't have anticipated the extra members from Cedar Hill, which have, I got to tell you, have been such a blessing for our club to have those people come here. They're so wonderful. They're nice. They've just been a great addition, and many of them have joined in the gold membership now. They've come off their trial. We hope that the rest of them are on trial, still considering we'll transfer over to gold. But we want you to be part of our fabric now, our club, because it's just been wonderful having you here. Great. Now, on next Wednesday coming up, big day.
Thursday.
Thursday, sorry.
Thursday
we're going to
night.
do this again. Okay? We're going to do this again. I'm going to get the dates wrong.
No, you won't.
Okay.
Trust me, you won't.
Give me the date of the annual members meeting.
The date is Thursday, October 23rd.
Okay.
And it's at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay. And by the way, we'll talk about more of this in our CTV update. You can join by Zoom. I think you can even vote by Zoom if you can't make it. There'll be a lot of important things. But we're going to summarize some of the things here. Of course, the highlight of the meeting almost every year since 1997 that I've been here has been the financial situation. And this year, this financial situation looks good. But briefly, let's talk about some of the highlights of what we're going to be doing at that meeting.
So basically, the meeting is to report on our state of our finances. And as members, you own this club, so you're certainly entitled to get a full report. And this is what we've done in our annual report to the membership, which came out on the weekend, and highlights and details all of the financials that have contributed to our success this year. So what we do, in fact, is we also give you some perspective on where we came from the year before. We first off, we actually do our audited financial summary, and then we go into the actual operational results. And you'll see by that we've managed that budget very tightly, and as I said, we've exceeded our revenue, so we're showing a very good contribution. Now, that contribution will be used. We cannot, as a not-for-profit, give dividends to our members, but we will be reinvesting that money, and we'll talk about it a little later. So then we will talk about the actual reports from management. We'll have Tyler and Cameron and Joel give us their reports, and quickly move on to the next year's
priorities,
budgets, and for operations and also for capital. That is basically what we will do at the meeting. And then we'll obviously vote to approve the financials that we presented. We'll ask membership to approve the management and of the club for the past year, but also ask membership to approve of the upcoming budgets for the year.
So just briefly, you did touch a base on it in your president's report. From the financial point of view, it looks like $179,000 contribution to the club. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that exceeded our expectations
Yes,
this year.
it did, because we had excess revenue, and we were able to manage expenses pretty well as budgeted. So it's quite a feat.
And we're expecting, from what I can understand, 265 gold members. Is that correct? Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, that's where we're at the present time. There's always a year-end change in the membership, because a lot of people, for whatever reason, will resign.
Yeah.
So typically we have a number of members that leave us, so that will fluctuate a little bit at the end of the year, but we're hoping for next year to be able to build it up to that level.
And one of the things that we're voting on are the priorities from next year. Could you just go to those? There's two types of priorities, obviously.
Yep.
There's the turf maintenance facility, which we will talk about separately. But there are some internal priorities. So this place was built in the 1960s.
Yep.
And a lot of things have been neglected over the years and have to be replaced and changed. So one of the priorities I saw was a sewer pipe, which almost as soon as you put a sewer pipe in, you better start budgeting for the next time you have to do it, because there's all these things that you have to take into account. And this building is now starting to show its age in many areas. We replaced the windows last year. We replaced the HVAC system. But let's talk about some of the other priorities that have been really kept to a minimum because we have the big turf facility.
So as John mentioned, the sewage pipe repair, members will probably recall that we've had ongoing issues with our sewer. It's sad to say, in this building, simply because it appears the design originally, when the building was rebuilt from the fire, was not done to its best possible way. So what we find is a lot of kinks in the sewage line, which doesn't help matters.
No.
Doesn't help matter going the right way. So we had company over company come through here trying to fix the problem, and finally we think we have some company that now knows the solution to avoid the ongoing problem of sewage popping up at odd times in our facility, especially in the ladies' locker room and the men's locker room. So we're proposing to spend $40,000 to do some of that, which will involve digging our basement and fixing it to make it work much better. The other thing that we all like to have is obviously the access to a beverage cart on the course, and we've experienced some difficulty with this year with the beverage cart not being available because of breakdowns. And the breakdowns seem to be more frequent and more serious, and we keep investing money in the beverage cart to no avail. So we're proposing to buy a used beverage cart that will service our members for the next few years. Also in the plan is to update the air conditioning unit. There's two or three conditioning units in the locker rooms, and I believe one of them doesn't work at all. So we're going to have to fix that. It wasn't the priorities for the previous year, but we had decided that windows were more important, so we went with that. So it's time to get our air conditioning in the men's locker room fixed. The other thing is that last year we purchased an oven that is state-of-the-art. It's called a Rational oven. Rational is the brand name. It's anybody in the industry knows that these ovens are very helpful to keep to prepare food, but also keep it to the point where it's very warm when it's served. And so it's recommended by the chef to get one of these. So we did get one last year. And unfortunately, when we came to install it, we were told that our current gas line is not to spec. In other words, without having to install that oven, the current usage of our gas line is not up to spec. So we needed to to upgrade that gas line, and it's an expensive proposition. It's $13,000. So those are the things that we feel that are essential, given the fact that we have to spend money, as you said, to rebuild our turf maintenance facility later next year.
Right. Okay. And now we received a report regarding the turf maintenance facility and what your plan is for that. Let's just go over that particular report.
Yep. So basically what we've done, and it's done under the leadership of Jeff Hall, who's the chair of our House and Infrastructure Committee, and a lot of volunteers on his committee, but also people that have been dedicated to working on this project, that are members, that are volunteers, and again, thanks for their service. So we've hired an architect who's given us some designs and some plans that we were able to go to a number of, I think we went to 5 different construction companies to get bids, to get actual estimates, Class B estimates. As most people will recall that in the spring we talked about a Class C estimate, which is a higher level estimate, which is again not as precise as the actual bids, but is give us an idea. Now, when we went to look at the results of those bids, we found that they were very variable in price. So in other words, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
And we didn't feel, the committee didn't feel that it was reasonable to expect the membership to vote on expending funds without a more precise and accurate estimate of what it was going to cost.
Right.
Because that involves a number of things that would happen. It would most likely increase our mortgage, for one. It will probably increase other usage of our capital reserves. And so the membership needs to approve all of that. And we felt it unfair to the membership to bring this up at this meeting. So what we've decided late last week, and I apologize for the lateness of it, but we just got the result of our bids the previous days. So we've decided to delay the decision on the turf maintenance facility until we have more precise pricing, but also a better idea of what we want. They're going back to the drawing board. Joel is obviously an important part of that discussion, because he's the one who's going to use it. He's the one who's going to have to live with it. So it's got to be something that he's able to work from, and his people are comfortable working from as well. So we will work in the next few weeks and months to finalize that, to refine also the design for HVAC, water, sewer, electrical, which was not available up till now. Once we have all of that, we'll go back to our contractors and ask them to provide us more precise bidding. And then if we're comfortable with that, we can then decide to go for actual competition for bidding, right, to select. However, before we do that, we need the membership to give us approval of expenditures for capital commitment, but also our mortgage, because we'll probably have to increase our mortgage that time. So what we're proposing is to delay that decision until we have more information, and that will probably happen through a special meeting that we'll convene during the winter months.
Right. Well, it seems to be the prudent approach, and I can certainly understand, because I'm going through the same thing with my own house, like just getting a contractor. We finally got everything set up. We got our plans all done, and the contractors are coming in at crazy, like way out of line. Yeah. And I got a call from the good news is I got a call from my son last night. He said, "Yeah, we finally got one that's reasonable. We can deal with this. So we're going to go ahead with him." But they can't start until next September. Yeah. Like, it's not like, okay, I got a contractor. Well, okay, well, how about 2027? We'll start the project, you know? That's the type of thing we're dealing with. And then we're not dealing with just the contractor and you. You got the Rio Valley Conservation Authority, you got engineering studies, you got septic, you've got water you have to deal with, all sorts of things going on there. So It's not easy.
No, it's a
It's
major
not easy.
project.
It is a major project. So let's do it right, and I think you're taking a prudent approach. Michel, any final words
Well,
for
yeah, I'd like
before we-
I'd like to thank you for what you do for the club,
quite
John.
welcome.
And these, I know a lot of people are tuned in to CTV and also the Men's League, and we really appreciate it. And thank you for this wonderful summer of work. And I know it's you put a lot of time into this, and also to your acolytes, your people that help you out, Charles.
Yeah,
And I think
sure.
We also had a special guest. Mark was as well.
Yeah,
So
Mark.
thanks for them. Thanks to them as well.
And, Liz Clausen, my scorer.
Liz Clausen, yes, thank you for Liz. The other thing is that the club is successful because of all the members, but also successful because of the members that commit to being volunteers. And we have volunteers all over the place. We have volunteers that just do a day of raking, a day of picking up branches in the spring, or putting down the tarps in a few weeks. We also have volunteers who come up and work on committees and special projects, like the case of the facility. And we also have others that commit to becoming board members. And I think it's important, and you'll be voting on new members at the meeting as well. But it's important to recognize that these people commit themselves to 2 years at the minimum, and sometimes 4. I'm going into my 3rd year, but this is something that we need to emphasize, because we need more involvement. We need more people to get involved in becoming volunteers and becoming board members as well. Yeah. So I'll leave it on that note. I think I want to thank all of my board members for the great year we've had, all of the chairs of committees, also members that are part of those committees, and all of the volunteers. And hopefully we can all see you on Thursday. If not, you can participate through Zoom, or there's also the possibility of doing a proxy. You can come to the office and give your vote to some other member that you recognize that could vote in your place if you can't make it to either of the other.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to thank you, because I know how much work that you go through every year. As I said, we all get to go home and sleep. Sometimes you don't get to sleep because you got an issue you got to deal with.
Sometimes I don't go home.
Well,
No.
I mean, and it's not just that. I mean, it's, there's issues at the club.
Yeah.
There's personnel issues. There's issues with members. And you have difficult decisions to make. I get that. I understand it, and I appreciate all the time and effort you put in. So,
pleasure.
with that having been said, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I want to thank Michel. It was a very good interview to come in, and he gave us a pretty good overview of the club and the annual member meeting report. I hope you get a chance to read the report. I know it's long, but it is your club. It's part of what you pay into, and part of what you're part of, and you should read what is going on at the club. Earlier this last week, you put out a revised slate for the nominating committee. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, definitely. So that's part of our process. Once the nominating committee completes their work for the year, there's another second opportunity. Additional nominations came in. There was a change there at chair. So Tracy then stepped down from her position. Dave Trudell accepted the chair position of the nominating committee. And revised slate, now we have Pete Richardson, Ron Damiani, who of course filled in and was appointed this season, so now he's up for formal election. And then Tracy McNairn is our new revised slate heading into the annual meeting.
Oh, wonderful. And I think Tracy for treasurer, and I want to thank the members that are leaving. I know Phil Byrne has been our club captain now for 4 years. He's done a wonderful job. I've enjoyed working with Phil in my role as men's league coordinator. His insight into things and the membership has been fantastic, and I trust his judgment on just about everything. And I want to thank Phil, and I want to thank the other members that are leaving as well.
Yeah, tremendous club captain over the years, and I mean the history that Phil has and the assistance in decisions and providing some background information and his talent in various areas. I mean, such an amazing accountant along with all the work he does in the golf events. So yeah, we'll miss Phil, and we'll still be able to stay connected at the club and on other committees for years to come with Phil.
So, looking at the annual members report, our numbers are very healthy. We're almost at our goal for gold members that we set 5 years ago. The numbers in all the other categories are either full or filling up or just busting. And it's a question I often wonder about because we've never had to ask it. What is our optimum number? What is the number where we say, geez, we really have to be careful because we don't want to become a club where a gold member comes in and signs up for an 8:30 round and has said, well, we can get you in at 5 p.m. today. We don't want to be one of those. And there are a few clubs like that. So have we done any work or studies? We're getting to the point now.
Yeah, it's getting close, but we're still not quite there in terms of our gold members. That's still the strategy. I mean, as you mentioned, we've closed that gap. We're right around the strategic mark that was set out about 5 years ago, which is phenomenal. That's amazing. We will carefully monitor our retention over the winter. I mean, this is sadly the time where some of our members will go and move on and move out of the area and make a membership change for various reasons. So we'll monitor that, and we do always analyze. We run round counts, per membership category, and we do full analyses every year. And we will always be responsible about how many members we introduce in various categories because we, like you said, John, we don't want to get to a spot, continue to run lottery draws where we're going to be saying no to groups of full long-term members that are looking for tee time. So that's part of the analysis. Big picture, we can still get into the 300s with gold members in the coming years.
Yeah, so there's the total members. I mean, and you have trial, you have silver, you have gold. I mean, moving from one to another category, which we want you to go to gold as much as possible because you get the most privileges at that member, and of course you're locked in a bit better. And but in terms of that, we're almost up. The total number of members is almost at a maximum now. How many rounds would you say we had to do? Do you have that information?
Yeah, we're going to finish this year at about 38,000 rounds.
38,000, which is up from last year.
Which is up again, and we really can't fit too many golfers on the course. I mean, that is also a factor of such amazing weather this year, right?
Yeah.
So you're seeing less closure days, more rounds at 7 p.m. when it's beautiful in early July, go out and still play a full 9. And we've seen that this year. And as a result, we'll be around 38.
Yeah, like in Joel's report, he said he cannot remember a year where he didn't have to restrict the carts on the course just once. Mm-hmm. And he's mentioned something else, and this is, I've known this over the years. Ever since we got the drainage on the course, and that was several years ago, our course works much better in a drought condition because we have the water. We can control how much water goes on the lawn. When you have rain constantly, you don't control that anymore. Everything gets soggy, we start bubbling up, and our drainage system, which is working, can't expel it fast enough. So this is why we survive so well in a drought condition. You go to other courses that don't have our favorable situation, and you'll see you've got maybe the tee box and maybe the greens that are green and everything else is not. And so we're kind of lucky that way. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's going to be some changes, I guess, in the office. Why don't you talk about that, the accounting staffing update?
Yeah, no, so we're very happy for Stephanie, our club accountant. She joined the club in 2020, so she's seen the COVID years, and she's been a tremendous asset. Just certainly grown in the role, and she's moving on to a City of Ottawa position. So
good for her.
Yeah, very happy for her, and it's going to be a good fit for her family. Yeah. So that's sad. You know, we've enjoyed working with Stephanie and
Yeah.
just close to 6 years as an employee, and we do have we're very close to the end of the hiring process to replace Stephanie. We have an individual coming in this week to finalize everything. So fortunately, that's been a very rapid pace. It's such an important position. We need to fill it,
Absolutely.
especially with the auditor and audit process that's coming in November. But
Yeah.
above and all, we just want to thank Stephanie for everything.
Yeah, Stephanie's been wonderful, certainly to work with me, and I wish you the best of luck. So happy that you're going to the city of Ottawa and get to work in that capacity. That's really good for you. Let's talk about the kitchen this week. I know there's no big specials, but we can talk that. We're open.
Yeah, definitely open. There are a few members still spending their last few food and beverage minimum dollars, so we are open, you know, even a little past dusk, right through to the 31st for lunch and dinner and breakfast on the weekends.
Great. So I can't talk about the pro shop this week because Tyler's away, but I do see he's got a couple of tables up there selling stuff. Thanksgiving weekend, I'm sure he put on a big sale, which I couldn't make, unfortunately. But I certainly will look forward to talking with Tyler next week and see what he bought for us. It's a big event this weekend, the Yacht Race.
Yacht Race, we're nearly at capacity, so we'll have about 24 two-man teams going out for a morning shotgun on Saturday. We will have breakfast available, a small buffet, you know, some eggs, bacon, toast, all the fixings will be available. You do not have to sign up before. The staff is going to put that out. So any of the players, if you'd like to have breakfast, come on in. Need to be there right at 8 to participate in all the pre-round activities.
Yeah, that's always a fun event. So if you're into that, that's great. On the 20th, we have a small water update for you. We're going to be turning the water off for a little while.
Yes, we have some contractors here to do a little bit of replacement in some of our water tanks. It is a planned capital project. We're getting some additional quotes and wanted to wait a little later in the fall so it's less impactful. But that will impact our washrooms early in the morning in the clubhouse, the locker rooms throughout the entire building, as well as the starter pavilion. They will be done late morning, and there'll be an email notification sent out for that small shutdown.
Okay. Of course, next Thursday is our annual members meeting at 7 p.m. It'll be zoomed out.
Correct, yeah.
And people can join by Zoom and can vote by Zoom.
Yes, definitely.
Also, Michel mentioned this in his update. You can get a proxy to let someone vote for you. Is that correct?
Yes, the office is open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we do have our proxy forms there. You're welcome to check in with Jennifer in the office or Stephanie, and they can provide that to you. And then if you're interested outside of those hours, please email myself or Tyler, and we'll coordinate the proxy for you if you're not able to attend.
So on the 25th, we have the Superintendents Revenge. Do not upset Joel at all, otherwise we're really going to feel it on the 25th. You know, I know he's not going to be here. His daughter's getting married, is that correct? But you know, just be nice to Joel, because last year was bad. In fact, during the men's close, it was bad. I thought, the guys, I think he's getting his dates mixed up. I'm sure he is, because some of those pin placements are like 3 feet from the edge, and you're going, how am I supposed to get that ball going up there? So, Superintendent's Revenge on the 25th.
It's always an interesting one. Yeah.
So, everyone, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and we look forward to seeing you the last few weeks of the club. Just to give you our schedule, we'll be doing another update next week, and one final one on the 30th, and then we go to monthly ones, because I'm away, I'm in Florida, so we'll be doing it from Florida, and zooming back here. So we do that throughout the winter, and then we're back again in April. So until next week, everybody, play well.